How are you doing? Good to see you.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for doing this.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah? Good. Okay.
Well, welcome everybody to another lecture presentation on our world. I think this is already the third installment in this series that we're jointly doing with EBS, Educational Broadcasting System. It's a great pleasure to have our friend from Morocco to do the presentation. You know, I've actually visited Morocco once.
Hey.
And I actually visited Essaouira.
Perfect. Gnawa Festival? Did you go there?
Not the festival itself, but I used to work for UNESCO.
Okay.
So it was one of UNESCO heritage, the castle, where they had filmed the Orson Welles' famous Othello there. If I remember correctly, right?
You are familiar with
I'm familiar with Morocco, at least that part of it.
Right.
So it was a beautiful country.
Thank you.
Food was incredible.
We'll show some of them.
Yes. And I wish I hope to have another chance to visit sometime soon. But unfortunately, it's not nearly as well known to Koreans but I hope this would be a great opportunity for Koreans to really familiarize themselves with your beautiful and very important country. And I very much look forward to your presentation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Comme si je n'existais pas. Elle est passée à côté de moi. Sans un regard, reine de Saba. J'ai dit Aïcha, prends-tu pour toi. Aïcha, Aïcha.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank so much the Artisan Center for giving me such a great chance to present my country to Korean young people and also to the larger Korean audience. I'm also thankful to ABC for being a partner in this program. It's really a great effort being done here in Korea, first of all, to promote the image of Korea as a modern country, open to the world, and also to give Koreans a chance to know other cultures through this program. So for me, it's an outstanding opportunity to talk to you about one of the countries that is as old as Korea. So Morocco, as you may know, I know a lot of you, Morocco is for you kind of a mystery. So today we'll try to demystify the mystery and make you close to Morocco. So Morocco happens to be in the most western part of Africa. It's in North Africa. It's bordered in the east by Algeria, in the south by Mauritania, in the north by the Mediterranean Sea, and in the west by the Atlantic Ocean. It's a very strategic location because we are very close to Europe. It's like half an hour by fast boat to the Spanish shores, and it's 14 kilometers physically from Gibraltar. So this strategic position has lured a lot of the colonial power in the past. But Morocco had a very strong army in the old days, since it was a big empire that pushed back all the attempts to invade the country. Our neighbors, they have been all Algeria and Tunisia and Libya, and even Egypt, have been invaded by the Ottoman Empire. And for example, Algeria has been colonized for 315 years by the Ottoman Empire, and then for 30 years, by the French. Morocco has been never colonized. Though in the old days, there are a lot of empires that come to the Moroccan shores, and some of them have settled in different cities, including the Romans, the Carthaginians, the Phoenicians, the Vandals, and a lot of the old civilizations and powers that came to Morocco. Some of them have even the remnants still there. For example, if you go to Fez, close to Fez there is a city called Volubilis, and it's a whole city built by the Roman forces at the time. So this strategic position of Morocco made it in fact a crossroads between three different continents: the European continent, African continent, and also the Arab world, because Morocco at the end of the day is an African, Arab, Mediterranean country. So this kind of variety in the composition, so to speak, or the construction of the national identity of Morocco gives a very unique sense of multiculturalism. So Morocco, there are Berbers, there are Sahrawis, Arabs, Africans. In terms of languages, there are a variety of languages. Arabic is, of course, the official language in Morocco, but the spoken, daily life spoken language is Darija, which is the local dialect. There is also the Amazigh language, which has been institutionalized in the constitution in 2011, and which is now an official language like Arabic. And Tamazight or Amazigh has different varieties. You find Tashlhit in the eastern part of Morocco, and Terifit in northeastern part of Morocco as well. And in the mid and high Atlas, there are also other different local dialects. French is not our official language, but it is the first foreign language in Morocco, and it's the language of diplomacy, economy, and administration. Spanish also is widely spoken in the north, because Morocco, at the time of being a protectorate, the French occupied the center of Morocco, but the Spanish occupied the northern part of Morocco and the southern part of Morocco. And like Korea, when this colonial power left Morocco, they left us border problems. And I think Korea has the same issue. So as I said at the beginning, we are two countries that share a lot of things in common, though we are geographically very distant. I know that about like 13,000 Koreans visit Morocco every year. I hope this number will grow after this presentation. And the problem is that a lot of people have in mind this kind of notion of distance. But today, there are a lot of ways to allow Koreans to go to Morocco and also Moroccans to come to Korea, because this rich and unique culture you have here is really worth seeing. And this is what we do as an embassy. We try to promote this kind of exchange between Korea and Morocco. So this is the dynasty, the Alawite dynasty that ruled Morocco since 1664. And you can see here the traditional attire that all the sultans and kings have been wearing throughout. This is the father of the current king, King Hassan II. We call him like the genius, among all these kings, because he happened to rule Morocco in a very tough moment. I'll talk to you about this later on. So this is Muhammad V, the liberator, so to speak, of Morocco. He passed away in 1960, and after him his son Hassan II came to power, who also passed away in 1999. And we have this handsome, beautiful, young man ruling the country now, King Mohammed VI, who is really very much loved by all Moroccans because he has a new vision for the country, and he is leading Morocco towards a lot of economic prosperity and stability. And Morocco in the region today, despite the aftermath of the Arab Spring and what it did in the region, Morocco made the exception for different reasons. Though people have come to the street to voice their grievances and to ask for democratic reforms, the country remains very safe, stable, and secure. And that gave an example, to other countries about how to change within continuity and within stability, and without causing this radical, abrupt changes that most of the time cause a lot of trouble and a lot of chaos for countries. So this is the currency of Morocco in the old days and the new currency. So if you go to Morocco, I mean, don't be mistaken. So if you buy things in the old Medina in the markets, you have to know that you have to bargain. I mean, there are no fixed prices. You guys can be sold like, look, you can buy a rag $2,000 while it's worth like $1,000. You have to be careful when you are in the markets. So you gotta bargain, and you gotta know, I mean, all these currencies to have a sense of what you are doing in the country. So as I said, Morocco geographically is very diverse. So you can find the snow in the high Atlas Mountains. You can find also the plains and the green spaces. Beaches, Morocco stretches over like 3,500 kilometers of coastline. So, I mean, definitely you will see a lot of beautiful beaches throughout the country. And of course you have the desert, the Sahara, the southern provinces of Morocco. It's a desert place where you find like nomads, people who have been there forever. I mean, this is a reminder of the caravans in the old days that link Morocco, Asia, and Africa. And Morocco was considered a main trade route by then, and this is why it attracted a lot of colonial powers. This is as I said, the Berbers are the original inhabitants of Morocco, and this is an example of the attire that was used in the past, worn by these women. Beautiful jewelry, very simple clothes. This is a Moroccan Jewish artisan. So Jewish people in Morocco, I mean, have a very long history. I mean, they were there before the Arabs. And unfortunately, I mean, when Israel was created, in fact, the King Mohammed V, despite the pressure from the Vichy government in French, has supported these Jewish people to go to Israel. But they have remained very much faithful to the country. And today, around 50,000 Jewish people come to Morocco every year to visit their homes, their families. And a lot of Moroccans go to Israel also to renew their connections with their relatives in Israel. And in Morocco today, there is like a thriving Jewish community, around 5,000. But around the world, all the Jews that have Moroccan origin are very loyal and very faithful to Morocco, and they project a very good picture about the country, an image, not a picture, an image of religious tolerance, coexistence, and cohabitation. So this is like an old picture of a Berber woman, and this is a new picture. So you can see almost the same jewelry, the same attire, and we are really very proud of this Berber culture. And today a lot of institutions that teach the Amazigh language and teach also, I mean, the culture of the Berbers who have been forever in Morocco. Today they have intermingled, not today, I mean, since the Arabs came to Morocco, there were a lot of mixed marriages, and they could intermingle and form one solid, I would say, society, and they are very proud of their Moroccan national identity. So this is also some samples of the jewelry of the Berbers. You can see some rags on handmade, and in the Moroccan, we call them souks. They are little markets like in all the Medinas. Mr. President, you have been to Morocco. If you go to Sawira, you will find this little small alleys, and there are these shops and these markets that sell all the artifacts and the artisanal work made by different people. And each region has its own specificities, in terms of jewelry, in terms of attire, in terms of food. It's a very diverse and rich cultural heritage that we have in Morocco. This is the Sahara, and this is the Sahrawis. They have also this rich culture. You see tents. They still, some of them prefer to live in tents, not in houses, in the dunes. And you see here the sample of Sahrawis. women Sahrawis who wear this is what we call the mlahfa, and this is the draiya in the Sahara. Tea is a ritual in Morocco. I mean, it's like we drink tea 3 times or 4 times a day. So it is part of the cultural life of Morocco. If you go to Morocco, never miss the opportunity to go south, because you will experience this camel riding experience, and you will see also, I mean, this beautiful, I mean, dunes and oases in the Sahara that basically forms a main component of this rich, diversified and unique Moroccan culture. You have here also different aspects of the attire, as I said, of the dress of the Moroccans. I mean, and each dress represents a region in Morocco. So Morocco is not only Casablanca and Marrakesh and Fez and Tangier, it's also the high Atlas Mountains, the mid-Atlas Mountains, the entire Atlas Mountains. It's the eastern part of Morocco, the Sahara, and each region is diversified, and each region has its own particularities, as said, in terms of eating, in terms of dressing, in terms also of the social life they lead. This is the written, what is called Tafinach, I mean the Amazigh language, and this is Arabic. As I said, I mean the mother tongue and the official language is Arabic, but Morocco is a multilingual society. Besides being multicultural and multi-ethnic, it's a multilingual society. So if you happen to be in Casablanca, you will hear like Arabic, French, and English the same day. If you go like south, you will hear the Hassaniya, spoken by the nomadic tribes and the Sahrawis. If you go, for example, east, you will hear a different dialect. So multilingualism is a main characteristic of the country. So here you have like churches, synagogues, and mosques, and this is the symbol of Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. And these 3 monolithic religions have been living together in Morocco for, I mean, forever. Apart from these religions, in the old days before the Islam came to Morocco, a lot of people were pagans. I mean, they had no religion. But Islam had a very strong influence on the tradition, and it has survived and cohabited with all these 3 religions in perfect harmony. Today we have a thriving, as I said, Jewish community in Morocco. We have a huge Christian community in Morocco, and we have also Muslims who form like around, or constitute around like 99% of the population. The king of Morocco is the commander of the faithful. He is not the commander of Muslims, and this makes a big difference. The faithful means the people who believe in different religions. So he is the guarantor of the security and religious peace among the constituents of the Moroccan nationality. And whenever something like happens to Moroccan national interests, all the believers, all Moroccans from different religions come together as one. And this is also another characteristic of Morocco. Here I want to show you the traditional dress of Morocco. It's called the jalaba. If you go to Morocco, for example to Marrakesh or to Fez, you will find a lot of these jalabas. So don't miss the opportunity to buy one. It's not that much expensive. And you see here, I mean, it's a traditional dress that comes throughout generations. You see young people wearing it, old people. And it's a dress that is worn basically during festivities and national days and religious feasts. This is our princess, Lalla Salma. I mean, I just put her picture here just to show you what we call the kaftan in Morocco, which is also a traditional dress of Morocco. It's very beautiful. You can see these diversities. Of course, the princess wears very expensive clothes, but there are a lot of varieties of prices. So you can find cheap ones as well as expensive ones. And the princess of Morocco gives really a very good image of the country, She is everywhere. She participates in goodwill deeds in Morocco, and also she takes part in different actions outside the country, and she projects an image of Morocco that is enjoying, first of all, equality among men and women, and also enjoys like this kind of visionary perspective. I mean, that gives the country a prominent place among all the other Arab countries who are seen, I mean, from the Western point of view as relegating women to a second place. But in Morocco, that's not the case. Women have a very prominent position, not only like in the royal family, but also throughout the society. Women are ministers, they are in the parliament, they are doctors, they are, I mean, everywhere. And of course, we consider them as a major component of our society, because half the population is women. And if you exclude this half from all the development projects, of course, you will lose a lot. And that's why in Morocco, the constitution and the family code gives a lot of rights and privileges to women. And I think the same thing here in Korea. Women have a prominent place. They are really very much respected. And you have a president who is woman. So this is a big message, not only to Koreans, but also to the outside world.